Hello, it's Yvonne. Going live again today. Oh, sorry, this is my nephew texting me. Um, just for chit chat and maybe update on my upcycling projects that some of my YouTube friends are following. So, got a little update on that. Little video clip we can watch together of like what's been going on there. And I've got them here to show you and maybe get some help, some ideas on how to proceed from here. And then I thought maybe if anyone's in today on the middle of a Friday, maybe we could talk about eBay solds and things like that. What's selling for me as a part-time thrifty reseller. And while I was going through my paint supplies trying to get ideas of what to do with these cats and these panthers, I found some of my old stock of little things that I used to sell in the 90s and things to upcycle clothing and other kinds of decorating. So I just pulled out the whole drawer from my sewing area, my little sewing closet. I thought, you know what, we're going to talk about crafts. If anybody's comes in and is interested today on that, then I'll show them some things from here and talk about some of the sales that I used to do, um, because I used to go do, besides all the flea markets and the brick and mortar store, I used to go do shows, set up at shows, and they were swing shows. I don't know if that. I'm assuming that still happens. This was in the 90s, mid 90s, early to mid 90s when I was doing that. And it was called push dancing or swing, and they would have big competitions at hotels. And so I liked to go set up with that because I've always sold unusual, garments and fancy dresses and things like that and jewelry that was affordable. And they would buy that to, not so much for the high end competitions, but like just to wear around for each other and, to look good and look spiffy. So those were fun days. So, anyways, remember I was talking about when I did my Thrifty Fashionista collab, George Antique Nomads collab. My take on it was thrift store fashionista, and I just went into my dressing room that I'm working on and kind of showed that. And I had all that black grid, and I was talking about that. I used to do shows, and that was in my store too, and it was easy to like to take with you and set up. I could handle even a couple of pieces of that grid myself, and it was just real easy to put together and make little cubicles that would stand on their own for displays, and then tear it back down and go on about your business. Anyways, I just decided to go live. I just, as usual, didn't really put out a lot of notice. I just now kind of did real quick over on Instagram. But anyways, let's just casual chit chat again. I haven't really done anything for about 9 weeks now, right? So, hello. So, let's start with the upcycling my panthers for my panther collection. Let's start with that, and then if some more people come in and want to talk about eBay stuff and see kind of what's selling for me, anyways. And this is my last year as an eBay seller diversity advocate, so I'm available to answer any questions. I promise to do that. Answer any questions and help onboard anybody new that wants to try it. Now's such a good time, with so many of us having to stay home, even if you had a job and, maybe you're still drawing unemployment, but I think you can still make a little money, do a little side hustle. And now's a good time to start a side hustle if you have been thinking about it, because it sure comes in handy for times like these. So, okay, so let's talk about, wait a minute, let's show the little clip first, okay, of what, so those of you that are following my panther thing, let me show that clip real quick. Let me pull it up and I'll show it. We'll just watch it together on the split screen. And for those of you watching later, because some of my friends are kind of curious as to what I'm doing with all that, so I promise to kind of keep the progress updated. So hang on, and I'm going to go get it, and I will share that real quick. Get to my files. You can't see what I'm doing, but in just a minute I'll share, okay? YouTube ready, Thrifty Rich. That's the file. And I just did it today, finished it up today, painting something and put this together. So let's open that up. Okay, don't start yet. I'm gonna wait. Let me get the split screen. All right, so now we'll go do a split screen, okay? Share screen. And I want to do application window, this. Okay. Let's just watch this real quick and you'll see what I'm talking about. Make sure it's showing. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So on IG, I showed this again for the second time. And I sniped off it today for $9.99 and $10.25 shipping. Resale value on this is probably around $4-ish, maybe a little more. This is a unique color that I'm not in love with, but instead of selling it, it's very vintage, of course. It's Royal China, not Hager, a planter TV lamp. You see the cord, very vintage. But instead of reselling it, I'm going to paint it white. Nobody stopped me when I mentioned it because I don't know if that's irreverent or sacrilegious, but nobody stopped me, so here we go. I'm going to paint this white and then put some like accents on it that I'm not sure. Maybe you all will help me. So here we go. So here's another item that I just really thought was cute, but I broke it and I tried to fix it, but I wasn't very good at it. And then it's got other nicks and problems. I was just going to redonate it, but I thought I'm going to give this one more chance. I thought, well, I can cover up all the flaws with this, that stone stuff. I know it's not as popular as it used to be, but I'm going to try to do that and see if I can save this, see what that looks like. Well, the stone, the fake stone was so old, it wouldn't even spray. And so I went back in and I got this one instead, which is kind of what I wanted to use anyways, but it wasn't as textured. But this is kind of what I was thinking because that flex stone is really very 90s. So we're going to use that instead because we're still under stay-at-home orders, the pandemic, so can't go anywhere. All right, so I'm trying again. Okay, so first layer, I think this is going to be good. I'm kind of glad now that the other one didn't spray. This is the one I wanted to use anyways. So I'm going to let the first one dry. You can kind of see the hammer look coming up now. And then I'll come back out and put some more coats on it. And I think I'll put some silver accents or gold. I haven't decided for the faces. Anyways, that's going to be fun. I think this is going to work. So I'm at the back of the house. This is where I paint. Under here are two old school Swin bikes that I got for free from neighbors up the street. I'm going to upcycle them somehow. They're super cool. Okay, so I got the panther all taped off, and so we're gonna paint it. Here we go. Oh, I already had paint. I haven't gone anywhere for like 9 weeks. I keep, spray paints and stuff. I keep the rest of it just for things like this. But I think I found a good color to lighten up the bottom of this panther's log. So that's what we're gonna do. I literally just did that today. And I'll show you what it looks like here in a minute. It's dry enough for me to show you. Hey, Yvonne. Okay, back to me. Yeah. Okay, so I did that. I finished that up today, and it's right behind me. So I'll show you guys that. Oh my gosh. So, because you guys can help me. So if you remember, this was so dark. Let me move my mic back. This was so dark. So let me get the paper off. And with the panther being black, I'm like, oh, that's just not, it's just too dark. So I painted that up with some paint that I already had. And it just happens to be perfect. Hang on, bear with me for just a minute. Okay. I'll get the rest off later. Okay. I'll do the rest later. So, love this guy. $12.99 about what, 4 months ago? For those of you that follow me, about 4 months ago. And this was too dark, so I just took that kind of brownish, medium brown spray paint that I had and just lightly went over that. So that was a little easier than I thought. But see, it really brought out the texture more, don't you think? So there's a few areas that I'm going to touch up. I pulled out my acrylic paints, and there's a few spots on the body that need touched up, especially on the tail. It's just especially on the tail, but it's not chipped or broken. But isn't he gorgeous, or she? So, okay. I'm probably gonna do this like Bob Ross style, like just take some cotton swabs and stuff and some black acrylic paint or whatever, and this is a semi-matte, and just kind of dab over what needs to be done over. I'm not going to spray paint the whole thing because I don't want to lose the face. I was thinking though, I don't know if this is crazy, okay? I think outside the box. I was thinking though, this pretty blue nail polish, that I might touch up the eyes just a little bit, but already I'm really liking this a lot better, with that driftwood looking more natural and not so dark. So I'm really happy with this piece of chalkware, $12.99. This is probably one of many, but one of my most favorite pieces in my Panther collection, which sooner or later I will show everything, the jewelry, the clothing, everything in my Panther collection. Okay, so I'm really happy about this awesomeness. That worked out great. And so far I haven't had to spend any extra money at all. Now, okay, this one's a little more problematic, I think. Okay. So here's the green one. Well, it was green. I think it really looks good with the white. I'm testing. I took some silver metallic paint that they paint model cars with, and I did test just a couple of his toenails. I don't know if you can see it. Let me find one. Just on this side. Just testing it in that little groove. And then I'm doing a jungalo section. And then to make him have some more muscle definition, I just took a cotton swab and just very subtly with that silver metallic, just to create a shadow on a couple of these lines, but I'm still living with that. I'm hoping that will be enough. Now the face is what I'm like, oh man, I don't want to leave I want it to look better. So I'm trying to think what to do with the face. So this is a vintage ceramic Panther TV planter lamp, which was all the rage, 50s, 60s or so, 70s. You're supposed to not watch TV, you're supposed to have some kind of backlight or something. So I've got the lamp part taped off, and you can see the vintage cord, of course, very vintage cord. This is not a Hager, it's a Royal China. The mold looks pretty similar. I don't know if they sold molds, traded molds, copycatted, whatever. But I really love this one besides my black ones. My black ones aren't planters or anything, but this one looks really good. Hi, Hugo Tiffany. But I love this one, so I think I'll put a little bit more definition. But what do you think of this? I don't know. I don't want to do too much, and I don't want it to end up being gaudy, right? So my private stash of like beads and stuff and trims that I was talking about that I'll show you guys too. All this kind of stuff that I used to sell at those shows with the push dancers and the swing dancer competition. 60s for sure. Yeah. That's maybe she, if she still has one, maybe you can snag one. Okay. Anyways, I pulled this out. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. These are kind of rhinestones, but they're opaque. Let it focus. They're an opaque, there we go, opaque moonstone. See, they're not real gaudy rhinestones. They're like an opaque moonstone. If you know vintage, think of like Fostoria heirloom, that kind of plate, that had that kind of moonstone looking edge. I own one myself. I love Fostoria as far as some vintage glassware. So I'm thinking little moonstone for his eyeball. That would be kind of subtle, right? Instead of painting. So I don't know. I'm talking about the update and showing. And so those of you that are loving this project and following it with me, if you have any other ideas that you think might be better, let me know. I'm not going to go back to these 3 things probably not till next week, because I'm going to focus on listing those sunglasses now. So the frames and glasses that we talked about last week, I'm going to focus on that for a while. But since we had a nice day and I wanted to be outside a little bit, I thought, let me finish this. It's been a long time. I don't want to keep people waiting. But I really like the idea of these moonstone rhinestones for his eyes. I think that would be subtle and a little more elegant. So unless somebody convinces me of something cooler, that's probably what I'm going to do with this. Hey, I have Jungalow sections, so I follow that hashtag. It's really fascinating to see some of the items. So if you have an area, that's kind of boho or a lot of plants, kind of like a jungle vacation bungalow, various things like that, then you might enjoy following that hashtag too. It's really interesting to see what other people do. So anyways, I've got a little section that I'm doing as well. Okay, so let me get the other one. What is this? Stop, that hurts. Okay. There we go. Okay, one more. Anyways, my point was, when I'm finally, feel comfortable to go back out, I'll get some real plants for that. Right now, I just took something crazy that I had just to kind of get a feel for what I think, it's going to look like. Okay, and here's the kitty cat. So here's the kitty cat that slightly vintage. I was going to sell it. It was a cream color, so cute. I broke the tail cleaning it. I tried to glue it back proper, but it just didn't. It must have been a little sliver missing, or I don't know. It just didn't work out right. But I thought, well, I was going to just donate it back or something, let someone else try to fix it. It was only like a couple dollars at the Goodwill a few months ago. But instead, I thought, well, let me try one more time. While we're home, we all, we're kind of like contemplating other things in our lives that we can do and things that have been on the back burner. And so anyways, it's kind of bittersweet, but I am kind of having some fun with, catching up on some arts and crafts. I kind of miss that. Jungalow, yeah. The second one, your last post, Hugo or Tiffany, Jungalow. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know who I'm talking to, Tiffany or Hugo, but I think you guys have some plants too in your house that you like. And aren't you guys growing a little herb section too? I've been following. So I actually started some myself too, because I thought, okay, that's a great idea. Probably going to start a garden too, because who knows how the rest of this year is going to go, right? Luckily, I already have some seeds. But anyways, I think you might like that hashtag. If you saw my IG post last night about that, where they took a greenhouse and made it into like just an extra room outside instead of like using it for a greenhouse, that I found that under the Jungalow tag. Oh, new reselling niche. Interesting. Okay, I hadn't caught that part of it yet. Okay, so anyways, you guys saw, I thought, well, I've got some of that old stone fleck and it didn't work. And thank goodness, because that is a little bit too old school. How can I say this? It was real popular in the 90s. Sometimes when thing is too much of a fad, it's just not gonna really come back too much. You know what I mean? Like, there are cool fads that we could go back to, and there are some that are like, womp, womp, let's not do that again, right? So I think that stoneware stuff might be one that we're going to be like, yeah, let's not do that again. But so it wouldn't spray, thank goodness. So I went back into my stash and I found this hammered paint, and I actually like that, this kind of copper. And I don't know if it's coming across because of the light, but it's got that hammered look when it dries. So I had a gray and this kind of copper, and I chose the copper. Now, this is really cute, isn't it? Wait a minute, I'm going to see what they're saying. People sell leaf cutting on eBay I did not know that. I did not know that. And dang, market value might go up on that too, huh? Depending on how the rest of this year goes. Well, you definitely, if you're going to do some promo, you definitely want to find the Jungalo tag on hashtag on Instagram and some other related ones to, catch those people. Okay, anyways, super cute. On these faces now, I was thinking to do black, but I think I'm just going to find like a slightly darker brown and try to keep it a little subtle. And then I'm going to keep it and put some plants in it. So I'm really happy that, I decided not to let this go and did something with it. I think it's adorable. There are a couple for sale that you can see on eBay or Etsy, was it, with its original color. It's like a cream color, and the cat had like baby blue polka dot bow tie. I mean, it was cute, it was cute. But and I like some vintage mixed with my modern, of course, but I don't want it to, I don't know. I like this better. Let me just say that. Sometimes I say things that hurts people's feelings. I got to be more careful. So I'm trying to be more careful about stuff like that, about my opinions. Anyways, super cute. Still has a little bit of paint smell. I'm probably going to put it back in the garage, but super cute, right? Too bad I broke it in a way, because someone would have loved it. It was vintage, but I'm upcycling it and saving it. So maybe someone who doesn't, in the future when I'm gone and the daughters are getting rid of my stuff, which they know who to call. I gave a list of resellers to call. And then these people I trust that will know other people to be like, okay, I know who, should have this. I know who should have that, So it's a couple of people that I trust very much. And so if they're still alive, they'll know what to do, with my collections of cool stuff. Some will be for the vintage. Some will be for my glassware. Some will be for my clothing, to know what to do with it. I said, do not donate this stuff back to the Goodwill. No way. Give it to people who will appreciate it, either to keep some for themselves or to resell it, that will know what things are and have the patience. Because I have some good pieces, in different areas in my house, like most of us resellers do, right? The colored glass collection is going well. You're on Instagram. I've seen you on Instagram, right? I think I posted a quick video on my story the other day because I was coming downstairs to go to the laundry room, and the sun was shining in that window where I have them all just kind of set up against a fireplace, which I don't like. It's too cluttered, but just to keep them safe. And I was like, oh, some of them were sparkling. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to look so good. I can tell when I get it, when I can get a shelf and get this set up. And I kind of talked about that and ran through a couple pieces that had the sunshine coming through. I did pick out a shelf, but I can't have it because that company is not working. But I did pick out a shelf. So I'll show you guys in a minute. I did pick out a shelf that I like. Let me see if I can find it without messing this up. And when we can go thrifting again, I'm going to try maybe for a couple more weeks to do the thrifting thing and see if I find anything cooler. But if not, because I want to try to find something vintage. I think that would be cool. But if not, I'm going to do this. Hang on, let me go to my iCloud drive because it's on my phone, but I've got iCloud, so I should be able to find it. Okay, from phone. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I took a snapshot of it so I could remember. Okay, if I can't find it, I'll just move on and have to show you guys some other time. It's really cute. It's new, and it's only $100. It's probably something I have to put together myself. A kind of an IKEA type. But what I thought it might work if I can't find anything super cool at the thrifts or flea market or whatever, when we can, is it's kind of got a Mad Men style, like that 50s, 60s kind of vibe. I wish I could find it. I can't hardly see these little pictures from my phone, so it's in here somewhere, you guys. I took a picture of it, but it's kind of angled. Oh, there it is. I found it. Hang on. Let me get this open. I found it. Yes. Okay. Now I got to remember how to share this screen and tell me what you think of this if I can't find anything else. I want to share that. There it is. Is that showing? Let me see. Let me look at my phone. Oh, crap. I just got rid of myself. Don't. Hello. Okay. Let's get back to that. Yeah, it is showing. Okay, see, isn't that kind of a 50s, 60s vibe, even into 70s, but yet also can work like kind of an abstract timeless, like that can fit with modern stuff too. But so that's what I'm leaning toward. You can put it tall or you can put it long, and I do have a space that I think that will work. So unless I find something else cooler. Hi, Nathaniel. I never give notice when I'm going live. I'm not good at that. I'm just like, can I do it? Do I feel like it? Okay, let's go. I don't like to spend a lot of time editing. I get too nitpicky. So I'd rather just be real natural. So anyways, this is the one I'm thinking of. I hope you guys can see that. If I don't come up with something better. End screen. Oops, me. Okay, so that's the one I'm thinking of. All right. I think this is really cute. I'm kind of glad about that. So I already gave an update on the other panthers. You might have to, if you're that interested, you can watch the replay when we get back. Let me see what that looks great. So yes, thank you. That's what I thought, but I hadn't really showed it to anyone yet to get a second opinion. Like, I feel like I've seen that when I watched Mad Men. I feel like, yeah, this would so work. And it kind of goes now too. Like, that is so safe of a choice, I feel like. So unless when we can go thrifting, unless I find something so much cooler, something kind of Art Deco or Art Nouveau, probably more Art Deco. I like clean lines, so probably more Art Deco for my taste, because I like to mix modern too. That's probably the one I'm going to get. So it also comes in black, and I lean toward black a lot, but in this case, I think white's a better choice, right? To show off. I keep looking here. You guys are up there. I think white's a better choice to show off that glass, right? Now, I can't put it in front of a window per se. There'll be a certain time of the day when the sun will pass by it from the patio, but I will backlight it with something cool. I will backlight it. So I'm pretty excited. That's been, besides the money that I've been making and a few interesting people that I've met in the vintage community so far, that's been one of the exciting perks is deciding to do, because I love glass, deciding to add vintage art glass to my, collection. So that's been so much fun. I didn't really realize what I was missing. Okay. Anyways. So I still want to go on a few more minutes about the Thrifty UpCycling crafts thing, because I found stuff and I wanted to show you guys. So let me bring this up. So while I was, looking through my paints and what other options I might have for the eyes for some of these projects, I found this bag. Let me show you. I buy so much crazy stuff at the thrift stores or garage sales because it's so cheap. And then I just save it because I'm like I don't want to call myself a hoarder, but I know something's going to come up and I'm going to use these items or they're resellable. So apparently, I don't even remember this. Apparently, I bought these awesome tie backs for like curtains. But there's other things you could do. If you secured these right, you could possibly hang a small plant. I mean, because it's not going to come off the wall much, but a small plant hanger. I think I'll probably make these silver though. And I love these. These are glass. Aren't these awesome? I don't know why there's an extra one. I don't remember, but there's an extra one. You know what? This might extend too. Anyways, I was just like, look at all this cool stuff in here. What is happening? And then look. Wait a minute. I'll show you something else I found. Another bag of spare crystal parts. A couple months ago, I found a bunch. They're up there. I was going to check with Crazy Lamp Lady Jocelyn to see if there's anything she needed before I start using them and, just randomly using them or selling them, because I have some shapes that are a little unique and maybe there's just like she's missing one or two. And I learned so much from her and Drew that I would want to gift it to her. Like I've been wanting to do some kind of fan mail for them anyways. I've got something for Drew that's kind of cool, but I struggle with Jocelyn because unfortunately she likes the same art glass stuff that I do. So that's a problem. But I thought this might be something sweet that I could send her a picture of all these different things. I've got a ton up there that I bought a couple months ago, so cheap. Hi, Carrie. So there's a whole bag full of more of these. Look at this. Made in Siri. I don't need you. Siri's trying to ask me if I need help. Look, made in Italy too. So I definitely, before I start using them and selling them, I definitely want to do a pay it forward with someone who I think would appreciate it. And that would be someone like Jocelyn right now for her lamps. I kind of dismissed it for a while because she kind of backed off lamps, right? But now that they're going to get that their own business, which might be open up next year or whatever, I bet you she brings her love of selling lamps back out, right? Because put them in her store. So she might decide to tackle that project again sometime. So that might be a good little pay it forward. I like to do that with my reseller friends and other YouTubers that I learn stuff from. I like to pay it back. Okay, let me see the chat. Oh yes, Nathaniel's right. I watched your last video, the tour of your the tour of Laura's mom's, was it Le Mans? What was the name of that again? Le Mans? Am I saying it right? That was really interesting. And I bet you George will still go down there and do another one, right? He'll probably still go visit when he can. But anyways, yeah, that was fascinating. Okay, I love lamps and to stop collecting them, but can't get rid of the ones I have. They cost so much to ship. Shipping keeps going up, so I can understand that unless something's really super cool and exquisite and kind of rare. Yes, with a long A. Layman's. I watched it this morning with my coffee. I watched you first, as a matter of fact, before I even watched my other people that I watch. You guys have really rose up in my rotation. I'm telling you. A couple of reasons. I'm fascinated. Okay, I have a little bit of synesthesia and it involves sound too. Let me close some of these windows that are unnecessary. And your guys' opening with that song and then the juxtapose of that, like something dropping. I wish you would put that on a loop at the end of your videos just so I could enjoy it for a while. I just really love that. And then there's something about the way you girls greet each other. It reminds me of okay, I hope you won't take offense because this is funny, but I don't know if you ever watched SNL, but there was something about, it wasn't Church Lady with, that comedian that I love. They had like a talk show where they saw, it was like a parody of like, they almost whispered to each other. They were so soft and sweet, and they would talk back and forth. So don't take that the wrong way, but it's kind of cute, the way you two open and greet each other on your videos. That warms my heart too. So you guys are a happy place. So yeah, you've just really moved up about, I have my people I'm going to watch every morning with my coffee, get up, feed the dog, feed my outdoor menagerie. I'm almost Snow White around here. It's been a couple of years that my husband buys me in a variety of things to feed. And so I should show you guys sometimes what's going on. Okay. I don't want to deviate. I'm all over the map here, but I got a little menagerie of critters out there. But anyways, so then I get my coffee, my little half a cup, and then my tea, and then I'm like start my routine to get me in, reseller mode. So, okay, where was I at? Oh, bye, Hugo, Tiffany. I know you kids are busy. I always appreciate when you stop in and say hi. I know how busy you guys are. Bye-bye. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so I want to talk about this real quick, and then I'll move on to solds because I've had some interesting solds. So yeah, I would buy this kind of stuff wholesale in the 90s. And so I would sell it at those shows for the swing dancers and push dancing competition at hotels. And, they would ask me to set up, take my black grid and some of my already pre-made dresses and my fancy earrings and stuff. This, I'm in Dallas, Texas, and there's a lot of wholesalers there. So I would get all this bling bling from the 90s. Everything was big in Dallas. And then also I would go to the Trade Mart, the merchandise mart, and buy things wholesale, real retail. So I would buy all this kind of stuff and set it out, and they would buy as much as they needed to decorate whatever outfit. So I still have some of it left from when I quit doing that and, got a divorce. We split the stores. I brought 2 with me, moved to Denver, ended up moving here. And then I've got random belts and things. I talked about that in my thrift store fashionista, George's bunker down thing, where sometimes I buy belts and stuff because I'm going to take them apart and make. So see, look at this. Isn't this going to decorate something cool, right? So cheap. So, and then one more thing I thought was fascinating. I don't know if this is, hi, Audra. Yeah. If you want any of this, if you have any project coming up, let me know. I've had this for so long, since the 90s. It's paid for itself. Except one, wait a minute, let me show you one piece. Except this is new. I picked this up at the Goodwill. Look, $1.59. And this is, they have it advertised to decorate pillows or whatever. This is really pretty. If somebody knew something, any of my YouTube friends or reseller friends say, oh, I know exactly what I want to use that for, you let me know. This stuff is paid for itself. And even if it's newer, $1.59. You guys help me out on YouTube. You guys help me make money. I gift back. I do. I gift back. I pay it forward. Speaking of, tomorrow's the day I'm picking my YouTube AdSense money, pay it forward, right? I extended it one more week because of my faux pas, but tomorrow's the day I'm picking somebody. So if you haven't, oh gosh, let me go pull that up too. Let me remind, because some people won't know what I'm talking about. Let me go find my channel and screen share. I'm not advertising this too many other places because I got to turn it down. Okay, let me screen share because I really want one of you people that really follow me and care about me too. I can't figure, there it is. Okay. Screen share. Where are you? Oh, I dropped it down too much and couldn't find the icon. Share screen, application window, this one. Okay, this video here, it's not big enough. Okay, it's called Clean Edit, Ship and Live Chat. Okay, this is the one where I'm saying because of the way YouTube has restrictions on running giveaways. It's a little tricky, and I don't want to just get all bogged down. So I'm just saying, hey, tell me what you had for lunch. And then I'm going to go in and pick all of those that had for lunch, use some kind of random generator online that people can see, and pick someone for my first YouTube money, pay it forward. Okay. So, it's going to be, I'm going to pay for someone's YouTube premium. I'm just going to send out $15. You can do what you want with it. My ideal and suggestion is to pay for your first month of YouTube premium if you don't have it. Hi, Sharon. I think it's only $12.99. Plus, if you don't have it, do the first month free and then use my gift, my pay it forward that you helped me earn for your second month. Okay. Now, I'm still a small channel, so I don't get YouTube checks every month yet. I might get one next month. I think I'm about 1/3 the way there. We'll see. So anyways, every time I get paid, I'm going to pay it forward. Appreciate you guys. The more I make, the more I'll send back out. I really appreciate it, you guys. Okay. So anyways, go do that when this is over, because tomorrow I'm going to do that. And I'll send the money to your PayPal or whatever. So another thing that I would throw out on those tables and also sell in some of my stores, this was all the rage in the 90s. I don't know if any of you remember that are, Gen X like me, or baby boomers or Gen X. The sequin patches, when we would all decorate things with sequin patches of just all sizes and kinds. Apparently, I have a couple of fish left. Must have pulled them for myself to do a mermaid or a beach theme. I've got some anchors and some fish. But I had all kinds. And I would just, they sold like hotcakes for a couple of years, because people would just decorate all kinds of like sweatshirts and t-shirts and jean jackets. So apparently I pulled some, or just had some left over. So that was fun. And then more fringe. But I wanted to show you the higher end stuff that I've sold at those events. Oh, here they are. Real rhinestone. These are mesh real rhinestone little patches that are real easy to sew on. And people would decorate fancy, like a cheaper dress, and then bling it out, for those competitions, and just to even be a guest, and support your friends. You wanted to look, crazy. Again, this was Dallas, Texas in the 90s. And then on top of that, it was the type of event, it was the push, the push and swing dancers. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a little more active than ballroom dancing. If you watch Dancing with the Stars, it's that kind of like really fast-paced dancing. Anyway, so I would sell all these sequin higher end patches too that they would use. Those were good times. Made a lot of money in the 90s. Now I just do it part-time. I like being a wifey. I like that. I like trying to set something up that we can do when Steve retires, keep us off the street. I'm a part-time caregiver for my father who lives with us. He's not, some of you know this, he's not immobile. He just has a little bit of dementia setting in. And, he wrecked his Harley coming back from Sturgis in 1986, 7 or 8. I can't remember now. I told that story too last month. Anyways, looks like I bought most of my stuff from Star Theatrical Supply in Texas. This is when I was in Dallas. But anyways, if you like to upcycle clothing or whatever, don't just go to the fabric store or Hobby Lobby, things like that. If you're really into that, upcycling and selling things, I mash up clothes all the time for myself and resell. Find the wholesalers. You want to buy your stuff in bulk. You can sell some of it, use some of it. But I don't know if this place is still in business, but you want a place like this, Star Theatrical Supply Company. They sell all this kind of stuff at wholesale prices. Of course, I got my private stash. Yeah, my private stash in here too. Now, this is Goodwill stuff for jewelry making. Look how cool this is. It's like a fishing line, but it stretches. I buy all kinds of odds and ends. And the jewelry girls that buy those jewelry jars with all the broken pieces, I'm saving all these findings because I want to try to do that too. It sounds like fun. So I buy all that stuff when it's real cheap at the thrift store. Like I got bags of it, 25 cents, 15 cents. Anyways, I just pulled out I've got a 3-layer bin thing, and I said, you know what, I'm just going to pull this whole thing out since I'm talking about do-it-yourself and crafts and thrifting. So, because I'm for real. When I talked about that in my video the other day, that I like to take things apart and make new things, I was not kidding. That's fun to do. And there's a crowd that has money, and they absolutely have to have things that are unique. I'm kind of like that myself. When I go out someplace, I want something unique to wear that I don't have to worry that someone else is going to have. Okay, was there anything else I wanted to talk about? No. Okay, let me get a drink, and I was going to talk about sold some cool stuff. Now, you guys know I'm part-time. I'm a small store. Sell 2 or 3 items a day. That's good for my size store. How many listings do I have right now? 400? I usually don't even have that many. A lot of them are auctions, and I'm just blowing through. And then, of course, now that we're home, and I'm going through some of my back stock and listing some of my stockpiles, and the stuff is selling. Just collect crafting stuff because that stuff is so cool. Oh, you had a brick and mortar too. Cool. Yeah. I'm always looking for artisan handmade items too. Okay. Let me pull up eBay real quick, you guys. Let's just go look. I'm going to use my other store, my baby store #deal. That way when we're talking about things, it doesn't show people's addresses, okay? Because some people frown upon that. #deal. Oh my gosh. I can remember the password. Okay. That's it. Should log in more because I still do have some random things up for sale. I was going to kind of like split things up, and Hannah was running this one for me. Then I decided not to. And there's still some things in there. Every once in a while I sell something and I'm like I'll see something that's sold and I'm like, wait, I didn't get a notification from eBay. Well, it's because it was #deal. If they had it to where you could toggle back and forth, I would probably still do that, but they don't. Okay, so let me screen share. Screen share. Thank you. And you have to go to application window. There we go. I don't want that. That's too small. Let me see what else you got. There. That's better. Okay. Let me make this bigger. Okie doke. All right. So let me make sure it's showing because I can't see anymore. Okay. Hang on while I get organized. All right. So saved sellers. So yeah, this is #deal. These are some local people. That's Lindy. That's me. Okay. There it is. Okay. I'm going to make this bigger. Is that too big? Let me look at the... Oh, that's better. Okay, so items for sale and sold. I'll talk about a few things. Sold to St. John last night. Now, I am looking at this from my other stores, for some weird reason, sometimes all solds will not show up in someone when you're looking at someone's solds, especially if they're doing variation listings and have that out of stock thing going on. It won't show at all. You won't know. Some people use it on purpose to hide some of their best sellers, and sometimes it just happens because it's a replenishable. But anyways, I don't do that because I just sell one-offs, right? But still, I've noticed sometimes when I look at my solds through hashtag deals, sometimes I've still noticed that, hey, I know I sold that and it's not there. Okay, so these look like Lululemon, right? Okay, I'm always talking about athletic wear. It's one of my go-tos in the clothing. And I look especially for, of course, Lululemon, Laura Jane, blah, blah, blah. But there are some other brands that aren't as well known, like Gymshark, okay, for the real gym rats. And then there's the compression stuff. So Opetics, if I'm saying it right, Align Med, IntelliSkin, they'll just be in either with the athleisure wear, and some of the things will be with like some of the tops, because they look like, they're compression tops. They're all structured. I'll show you one in a minute. They might even put them over in the lingerie and think it's a girdle top or something. But some of these names of compression wear you want to know because, they sell. So that sold 2 days after I listed it. I think I took $30, but I probably paid what, $4.99. Finally listed this, so it took a couple of weeks. This one's really okay. Now this one's really vintage, but let me open this up bigger. How do you do that? See original listing. Thank you. But I went ahead and did this one because this was super vintage. Let me show you the label. Let me get to the label. There it is. See that one? See? And I hate the lighter colors. Oh my gosh, because inevitably when I get home, there's something I missed, even if I took it to a window. But this one, I got lucky. It was perfect. And I had to because it was Santana knit. Let me get this. I had to because look, it had a belt. And look at those pearls and bows. Oh my gosh. So if it would have been a newer label, I probably would have priced it more. I knew I wanted about $80 for it, so I priced it up a little because I take best offer, right? But isn't that adorable? So I think I took $75 yesterday, and it's going to New York, I believe. Let me get back. Let me read the chat. I know. I've been so focused on YouTube and reselling and stuff. It's been a while since I've really done anything creative or even made a mashup of clothing. It's been about a year since I've done that for myself. So, okay. And this went out yesterday too. I knew, okay. There are several brands. This isn't the biggest brand. This one is. Okay, and I'm in a gray area. I know when I did this here, when I put that in there, I'm in a gray area of keyword spamming. But this company went out of business, I'm pretty sure, Jinko. But that was the leader in this type of skater, big flare in the 90s. But this, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Illig. And there are a couple other brands too. Maybe they'll pop up if I open this up. Let's see. Okay, they are. There's somebody has some Jinkos. Boy, those are tore up. Some Crown, some more Jinkos. Jinkos usually sell for a little more, okay? Oh, Paco, there's another name, okay? You'll know these when you see them, and you need to look in the boys section too, because sometimes they're so small-waisted, they'll put even the men's in the boys. But you'll want to look at the boys section too in the jeans, and it doesn't take long. You can spot them a mile away because they're going to be crazy wide. They're probably going to have crazy patches or something kind of treatment all over them. But you can see these prices, and I won't bother to go to solds because these prices are about what these will sell for. Jinko's team seems to sell a little more. Is this my listing? Yes. Okay. So vintage, blah, 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 wide leg skater jeans, you want to say. Jinko trend. I was in a little gray area with this, but since I'm pretty sure they went out of business 2 years ago, I put Jinko fan dupes. I really didn't have to. Someone would have found them. This isn't as wide known of a brand, but just by putting wide leg skater jeans, eventually someone would have found them. But oh my gosh, back and forth with this young man. He just was so happy. He wants those so bad. And I shipped them out immediately yesterday. He was so cute. He was so cute. I can't wait. I'm so excited. That sold pretty quick. That's cute, isn't it? Take a couple dollars off. Limoges. I price everything up a few dollars because I like to do best offer, let people haggle. They feel good about that, okay? So here's a nice Limoges plate. Now it was just an 8-inch, so about like that. Okay, that was just a little one. I think I paid like $1.99, but it was marked on the back. So that's about my third or fourth Limoges plate since I've started vintage, that kind of vintage stuff, about 8 months ago. Oh, those were my shoes I decided to sell. This went quick. I love the crochet knit blankets. They're usually pretty affordable. So the other thing I'm kind of happy about that, if you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen these. I always buy these crazy leather patched 90s sweaters. They'll be from Korea or from Hong Kong. This one sold for $52 or $55. Anyways, you always don't be afraid of those at all. I'm telling you. It's kind of like the skater jeans. My first set of Stangle, they cost me about $1.99 a piece or $1.59 a piece. So I split them up. I had 3 dinner plates, which are still for sale, and then 4 of the 8-inch salad plates. So that was a pretty good price. I do not do free shipping. No way. I thought that was an interesting item. I thought it'd be worth more, but there actually are a lot of them. People I think are using them to upcycle and decorate themselves. So, but I got a few more dollars than everyone else. I'm like, well, I'm just going to price this how I want and wait for the other ones to sell. Mine's in great condition. Sooner or later, someone will buy this for their craft project. Nice little vintage prairie dress. This was Candy Jones, California. Not as well known, but I did it because it had the butterfly ruffle sleeves, okay? And luckily for white, it was good. Oh my gosh, I always get so nervous, but that was adorable. That's something I made a mistake on, I thought. Mikasa stuff, you never know. Some of it's not so great. But I worded it carefully without lying, of course, and I did manage to squeak out, I think, $10 or so. So made maybe a couple bucks on that, but I made a mistake on that one. A YouTube friend bought that one from me. I bought peanut butter from her when we went into quarantine and stuff, or not quarantine, I decided to stay home early. So I'm scrounging around for some of our favorites. I bought some peanut butter from her, and I'm like, hey, I think I know that name. So yeah, it was one of my friends. You guys might know, Flippin' Particles. So I don't think she'll mind if I say she bought that. That's one of my blowouts, an auction. I have a bunch of auctions. When you see my cheap auctions, that stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to give it back to the Goodwill because I've already done the work. I'm just going to use them as like loss leaders or something. Yeah, that's really pretty, isn't it? It's not signed or anything. So I felt like that was a good price. She didn't tell me she was buying it to afterward. I would have gave her a deal, but that's okay. I didn't tell her I was buying the peanut butter either. This was a winner. You guys already talked about that last week, right? Starbucks. It's pretty rare to still find a Starbucks, that we can make some money on, but I did. It's really pretty. Kind of mermaidy. I'm surprised I didn't keep it, and I heard a couple comments from my friends like that, but I knew it was worth money. There's one trending like it right now, but it's yellow. It's like a pineapple. It's got like a fake pineapple look. And it's that diamond cut thing. I think they're trending at about 28 to 38. It's been a week. A lot can change on Starbucks in a week. But anyways, that was a good return on my money right there. Jessica McClintock dress. I showed you guys that. Gave a good deal on that. Making some deals. I think I've showed you most of this other stuff. That was fun. Vintage stuff. Some of it's really good sellers, you guys. this was interesting. These are just little tiny things, but certain Disney stuff, and when it's vintage, we check it out. These were real cheap. They're only about this big. And I sold that, and they asked me, they said, I'm having problems with the recent situation. Please hold these for me. I promise I'll pay. And I'm doing that. So they haven't shipped out. I'm holding them. This was fun. If you missed me talking about this went back to Peter Deneen. I asked him, I said, now, did you actually create that? But he didn't answer. So probably shouldn't say anything. I guess he wants his privacy or whatever. But I recognized the name, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. And so the address I was sending it to wasn't where the factory is, but it turns out it's one of their rental properties, someplace really cool. Anything else interesting? Ralph Lauren sheets and stuff I've learned are a thing. I don't think there's anything. I mean, there's some cool stuff, but no real like, ooh, that was a lot of money. But I made money on things. This was super cute. It's only about this big. Real precious ceramic piece. Kind of wanted to keep that. Frank Lloyd Wright stuff sells well for me. Audra, was that you? I think you helped me with this. One of you did. Told me what that frosted crystalline glazed, and then I found out that she is got a little bit of clout. Well, I'll just let you guys look real quick. You're welcome anytime to go through my solds, though. This haul piece, the Aladdin, it's a haul china. Some of them don't sell for much, but the Aladdin seems to do pretty well. And I thought this black with the gold trim. So I added Hollywood Regency to try to see if I could get some interest. And that was cool. Renaissance. That was cool. This was a bundle. So they got a deal and a little off shipping. This was a bundle package. Cool, huh? This was a tiny little thing, just a coffee advertising. I don't know why I bought it. I just thought, let's see if somebody wants this. And somebody did. Isn't that crazy? All right, you guys. Let's talk about this real quick, and then I'm going to go. So this was about this big. And it was just a little cruel. It was licensed, Sesame Street. But look at that. I probably paid a couple bucks in the linen department. I never passed up the linen department. All right, you guys. That's enough. Those were just some highlights. I think there might be a couple things missing, like I said, but all right. Again, this is my store. I'm logged in under #deal, and we're looking at my main store, Mile High Scene. This is my banner. I don't know if any of you have done all that, but you should. I notice a lot of people don't put a thumbnail to their store or fill out this page. And you should. So some people I follow, some of my store followers, give some reviews. All right, let's back out of this. Okay, there we go. Well, that was it. So my recent solds. Haven't sold anything on Poshmark for a while. I haven't really been working Poshmark too much. I'm thinking about maybe next year niching down Poshmark. Excuse me a minute. I'm thinking about niching down my Poshmark and making it a tall girl store. I'm a tall girl. And so when I have cool things for tall girls, I usually, talk about it elsewhere and hashtag it. And then also I noticed that there's a new kind of like a thread up or real that's specializing just for tall girls. I can't remember what it's called, but I found it on Instagram. They're going to be launching soon. And so I might look into that too. But I'm kind of leaning toward turning my Poshmark into maybe just tall. I don't love Poshmark. Actually, I used to just use it to try to promote YouTube. I don't know. All right, you guys. Anybody want to talk about what you're up to before we go? Bye. Bye-bye. Oh, your daughter was cute too. Yeah. All right. I will talk to you guys later or see you on one of your videos. Oh, and don't forget, if you haven't, to go drop what you had for lunch. If you haven't done that, I'm going to do that tomorrow and notify the winner. Okay. I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks and have a great day. Ending broadcast.